Hello, and welcome to the Susky Sports Corner. I'm Maddie Gillespie, and I am the sports editor for the Susquehannock Courier. Today we will be talking about the amazing fall sports teams and about the successful seasons they've had. Joining me today is Athletic Director Brad Keeney. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Keeney.
Thanks for having me here. It's an honor to be here.
So let's start off by you telling us about all the sports teams that made it into divisions and counties and all that kind of stuff this year.
Okay, well, it's been a pretty amazing fall so far. So far, we've had 4 teams win the YAIAA Division II. We had field hockey, boys soccer, girls soccer, golf, and right now, currently football is leading the division. So we've had quite a season, and as you look through the teams and you look how they're doing, like golf, undefeated. I don't think they had anybody stay within 30 strokes in a match, which is pretty phenomenal. We've also had several teams qualify for districts. Cross country, just got the numbers in. We have 9 kids that qualified for the district meet. And the interesting thing is only 7 of them can actually compete per team. So we had more than we actually have qualifiers. Girls tennis had two young ladies, Molly Hogan and Julianne Cassidy, make it to the District 3 championships for doubles. I tell you, Kendall Abrams, holy cow. Okay, Kendall Abrams comes out, she wins the District 3 individual golf championship, and not only, for the first time in history, then she goes out and wins the East Regional, meaning she's the best golfer on the whole east side of Pennsylvania. Okay, and she just recently competed here in the PIAA state tournament and placed 6th. So I tell you, all the way around, the kids are doing amazing things.
So what do you think has been making these teams so successful this year? Well,
I think it's a combination of a few things. I think first of all, and what I like to see the most is if you listen to the kids talk and you listen to what they're saying, first of all, they're really enjoying what they're doing. Second of all, you're getting a lot of support from each other. One thing I really noticed this year is when you're going to athletic events or even other events, like, when the band's performing at halftime or at the end of the game, more and more kids are sticking around and they're supporting each other. I think the culture is growing, and I think kids are expecting to be successful now because, that support's in place. They're working hard. The coaches are doing a phenomenal job. Mm-hmm. And when all those ingredients come together, this is what you get.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit more about Kendall Abrams. What's the significance of her winning all these competitions so far?
Well, honestly, she's the first golfer we've had in school history to do this. Now, Kendall's been very successful, outside of school sports with the tours that she gets involved in and some of the events she gets involved with. But I think, she's a hard worker. Not only that, she's a phenomenal young lady. She's got a great attitude. She's a good student. But her hard work has paid off. And, so she's the first person in school history to win this district title, which it's a big deal. Okay, that's the whole South Central Pennsylvania. Okay, and then she goes out in the regional tournament flawless and wins the whole east side of the state, and then placing 6th at the PIAA state tournaments. I'll tell you, take a couple holes away, she's in the running for the whole state championship. Mm-hmm. So it's amazing to see her play, and I got the privilege of getting to watch her play a little bit at the regional tournament and just a little bit at the state tournament. And it was just impressive, her focus, her drive. It was really awesome to watch.
Mm-hmm. And the field hockey has been a little bit surprised this year due to them winning the division title. I know there was a little bit of doubt and stuff. Could we talk about how far they got and what made them pull through in the end?
Well, I think one of the tough parts about the field hockey schedule is they start off with all out-of-division teams, which are typically bigger schools, right? And some of them have more of the powerhouse kind of programs that we certainly have. But so when they start the year off, it's always a little tough to get past, the Dallas Towns and the Red Line. But, when you looked at it and you looked at the scores, we played really close with some really big programs and some really good teams. And so when they got into division play, it did not surprise me at all that we were able to run through Division II undefeated. We were kind of, I think, for all intents and purposes, we were definitely a step above everybody else in our division. And they did qualify for the District 3 championships. And I tell you, they work hard, just like Kendall, like all the other ones do. That culture is here now, okay? And so all that practice and all that togetherness and that team focus gets them where they are. So they had a phenomenal season.
The boys soccer team has been doing amazing this season.
Yeah. Yes, they have.
Yeah. So especially with having so many great players graduating. So what do you think made them stand out this year more from last year?
Well, I think, again, you got a group of kids that work really hard, and you got Coach Maxwell that really leads those kids in the right direction. I think, they certainly surprised me. I did not, when you lose a lot of seniors, you do worry. You say, okay, can we replace those spots? But that program just reloads. Like, that is a working machine. And I think it was really cool to see some of the younger kids pop into those positions that some of those seniors graduated from. And I tell you, if you watch them, they're another team. They just play as a team. And throughout the year, they've only gotten better and better and better. So I think last time I saw, they were 20-1. Okay. They got upcoming district games here. They got an upcoming game at Hershey Park Arena. And that'll, say they do okay there, that puts them in the district semifinals. So yeah, they are flying high.
So for the first time in the decade, this is the best football record that we have seen.
Yes, it is.
What do you think makes this football team so great from the teams in the last decade?
A couple of things. Number one, when you came in all summer, you saw 20, 30 kids in the weight room all summer long. Okay, these kids banded together, and they decided that they were going to put the work in to be good this year. And they did. They followed through. They lived up to their end of the deal. And I tell you, the other thing is there's an expectation to win. And I think that hasn't been around in a while. They're walking into games believing they can win. And the other part of that is they're banding together. They play as a team. Football is one of those sports where every kid has a job to do. If one kid doesn't do their job, the play falls apart, right? And this team, they really just do what they need to do to help the team. And here we are, we're 3/4 of the way through the season, still in the division run. So they're doing a wonderful job.
So what do you think we can attribute to the football team's success this year?
Well, I think you got to look at what the coaches are doing. Coach Wiles, Coach Kerr, Coach Sternberg, all of them. But you also got to look at the kids and what they're doing. I think, the kids are special. Okay, they're working together, they're building a culture of success, and they believe in themselves. Okay, it's interesting what happens in high school sports when kids believe in themselves. Because if you really think about it, when you walk out on any playing field, doesn't matter sport, what you see is you got kids that are semi-evenly matched. So really what it comes down to is who has the confidence to take risks, who has the confidence to go out there and try something. And so far this year, our kids have done that.
We've been talking so much about all these teams making districts. How does a team make it to districts?
Okay, well, in a lot of sports, they have what's called power rankings. Okay, so after they play, we put the power rankings in, and there's a big, huge formula that calculates, first of all, your record, the scores of your games. Okay, it also calculates how tough the other team was compared to their scores and their record. And for each sport, it's a different criteria, like soccer's top 16, football's top 8, and so forth. And if you're in that criteria, you make the district tournament. Whereas cross country, it's a time that you have to make. You had to race in a certain amount of time. And tennis, it's more of like the team is power rankings, but the individuals, it's based off of how you performed at the county meet, how you performed throughout the year. So it's different criteria, but we seem to be rising in all of them.
So how have you seen these teams prepare for districts this year?
Work hard. Honestly, like they've banded together. here's an interesting, I found to be really interesting. We hosted the 2 girls soccer games, or boys and girls, for the first round of districts here. We had well over 800 people there.
That's a lot of people.
Right, community members, students, parents that I've never really seen before, you know, and these were actual community members coming out to support us. There's something in the water right now. I don't know what it is. And when I've watched them prepare, you can see that the coaches obviously are on top of it. They absolutely know what they're doing. And these kids are believing in what the coaches are saying. And not only that, they're believing in what each other's saying. And I've seen a lot of student leadership where the captains are stepping up and talking to the, to the other players, and even some of the other underclassmen. And what I like to see is it's not a dominated conversation. It's a group of people working together, which guess what? That's what life's all about. You know what I'm saying? So they're doing the right things, and that's all paying off, because I'll tell you, we're walking in, and so far every game I've seen, our kids have played amazing.
So how do you think these teams are benefiting from these district games?
Well, I'm going to generalize that and say what this is doing in general. What these sports, if you look at our marching band and the success of our marching band, you see the same, I guess, qualities, okay? Number one is they work hard. Number one is that hard work is going to pay off in life, right? The skills that you get from sports are the skills I think a lot of companies that want to hire people are looking for. The skills you get from marching band, the skills you get from any extracurricular activity where you have to put a lot of time in to be successful, it's going to benefit you. Number two, you're working as a group, okay? How much of life and work and the rest of your life is going to be the ability to work with someone else? You see that through all the extracurriculars. The creativity piece, where you're going out there, so you're getting put in situations all the time where you have to be creative on how you're going to do something. The risk taking, the perseverance of the, getting through the hard times. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing kids put in these pressure situations. If you want to make it specific to districts, they're getting put in these pressure situations, and they're forced to work as a team. They're forced to work through adversity. They're forced to work through all the hard things and be creative. And so that's what we're seeing. And you can't tell me it doesn't benefit kids,
So a main focus of the athletic department has been to get more students to come out to these games. How have you been trying to get these students to come together and help support our sports teams?
Well, I think it's with any kind of leadership, you don't tell kids what to do, you inspire them, right? And one thing I've noticed is, whether it's Spirit Committee, whether it's Warrior Council, Student Council, doesn't matter, any sort of leadership position, I've kind of been working with them, I'm like, okay, get these people out. And the cool thing is that they are inspiring. Like, they're going up, okay, they're coming up with the themes for the games, which just makes them fun. They're coming up with ways to try to tap into maybe social groups that wouldn't typically go to a sporting event, or not even just a sporting event, music, theater. Like, we want the whole purpose of all this, it isn't just to get people to go to sports. It's to get you guys as a school to support each other, okay? Because you only get to do this once. You know what I mean? You only get to go through this high school one time. So make it your own. Have fun with it. Put your cell phone down for 5 minutes and have a conversation with the person beside you. And as I think since the implementation of just Spirit Committee alone, we've seen a dramatic increase of people coming out to the games, or people going to different events. And I think I won't be happy until that's, equity spread throughout all the different extracurriculars. But, we're certainly moving in the right direction, and I'm certainly seeing the kids with smiles on their faces. So that's the most important.
Now, I know the marching band technically isn't part of the athletic department. Could you tell us about how they're doing?
Marching band is legit. All right, I don't know if people don't know that or what, but they seem to win championships every year, okay? I know they just, in their most recent competition, took first place. I know they won the Cavalcade of Bands last year, and they're really impressive. I gotta be honest. Their show this year is definitely very difficult, and they seem to be nailing it every week. We typically stick around and get to see it, and I know they got some bigger competitions coming up. I know they went to Delaware. And they seem to just, every year they get better and better. And I got to be honest, like, I wish kids could sit back and look at the amount of dedication I mean, you see the band here till 9 o'clock working every night. They're working, okay? And they work as a unit, as a team, and Mr. Poole is phenomenal. And I tell you, it's really impressive to watch. I think more kids need to experience that.
So what do you think is attributed to their success?
I think it's the same thing you see with the sports teams that are doing well. There's a high level of dedication. Mm-hmm. There's a high level of practice. There's a high level of kids working together, okay? Mm-hmm. And when you put all that together, every time, it's going to equal success.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that you would like our viewers on the Courier to know?
I just want to see you guys get involved. You know, I don't know what you're interested in. Doesn't matter what club, doesn't matter what sport, doesn't matter anything. Get involved. This is high school. You're supposed to get involved and have some fun, right? Mm-hmm. Get something to be part of, something that you feel you can express your talent, or somewhere where you can get around a group of kids, hey, maybe that you're not used to being around, because you'd be surprised at the friendships you can make.
Thank you so much for joining us again today.
No problem.
Good luck to all Warrior sports teams in the postseason. For news, photos, and commentary and video on all things Susquehannock related, please check out the Courier website at www.susquehannockcourier.com or follow us on Twitter at Susky Courier. For everyone here at Warrior TV, thank you so much for joining us and have a great day.